And it's crazy because I said the same thing to Angel. I said, Angel, go to the car real quick. And so I go to the dude, you know, and I pull out my gun on him. I say, hey, bro, like you still playing? What's up?
Dropa esse beat.
This is Said Talk Podcast, the second episode, and I have a very, very special guest on today's show. This woman is my shero. Okay, you guys are looking at me funny. You say everybody in the world is your hero in this, but this is a woman. So she's my shero, right? Growing up, she was my provider, my supporter. She has always been there for me, right? And this is very, very inspiring for me to have this woman on the show today. I'm excited, to have her. This is my mother, Leanette Smith. Welcome to the show. Let's go. Let's go. Clap them up, baby. Yes, yes. How you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Pretty good. I'm a little bit nervous though, cause like here I am, your son, getting ready to interview you on my show. But I'm extremely thankful. Extremely thankful.
I'm nervous with you and for you.
With me and for me. I'll take that. So pretty much, today is actually going to be a pretty deep discussion. Just pretty much regarding my upbringing, my brother's upbringing. I could recall just us being younger. You know that you were a single parent. Okay, you raised two boys. I have three boys, and I know how it is with boys. You raised two boys when we were young, but we had a lot of fun though. Like there was a lot of good times, that we've had, that we've shared. We used to always go to Disneyland once a year when we have so many stories, the hotels. Apparently, so they say that I was sleepwalking or something like that. And I got up and I looked like I was getting ready to run off the bed. And look, my mom, my shero, she saved me from jumping off the bed. I still deny that story to this day, though. They talking about I'm sleepwalking and sleep running. I don't know. I don't know about that. But, we had a lot of great times growing up. And then one time I do remember is where we were all living at your mother's house, which is my grandmother, in Lakeview. Okay, so San Francisco, California. I was born and raised in Lakeview because of this situation, right? My mom, we all were moved in there. We also had our cousins with us, our aunties. We had everyone in that house. And I feel like it was Thanksgiving or Christmas every night. It was just super fun for me. What was that experience like for you?
It was nice, fun, different. We were all together. We had meals together. We had outings together. Everybody argued and laughed.
Yeah, that was some funny stories. And I remember the time too, like you weren't there. Like maybe you went to work, but we would get in trouble at mama's house. And mama had the old school heater that like came out of the wall. And she had this little magnet thing. She called it a belt, but I don't know if that was a belt or not, but it was this magnet that was like stuck to the heater. She'll pull it off. Anytime if one kid does something crazy, one kid, everybody gets a whooping. No matter what, everybody gets a whooping. And it used to be funny. Like I remember when, if you're like third or the fourth one or the fifth one in line, it was funny until you become that second one going in, and you start crying before it, man. Yeah, so there was a lot of memories. I definitely enjoyed it, definitely loved it. But us from a kid's perspective, like that was fun for us. But when the roles are reversed, right? So I never thought what you might have been going through at that time, during that time, whether if it's financially, whether if it was, relationships, school, work, any of those things. And so, what I would like to ask you first is when we, so as a single parent, what was it like raising two boys as a single parent?
My experience as a single parent was good.
Okay. Like, what do you mean? It was good.
I had good kids. Robin said were for the most part good.
Yeah. She said, good kids. Y'all stay tuned to the episodes coming
Until
up.
they became teenagers.
Cause there's a lot of stuff that we did that made my mom go a little crazy. What's going on here? But yeah, that's what's up. Okay, so we had good kids, right? So as a single parent, was it tough? Were there any struggles?
No instructions.
No.
As is day by day, by the grace of God, pulling me through.
Mm-hmm.
Struggles became simple,
Mm,
easy. It all worked out.
mm, that's awesome. And so speaking of struggles, have you ever felt a struggle so hard that you felt like giving up completely? What was that experience like for you?
Never. I've never felt like I wanted to give up. The harder it seemed, the better I made it for my kids. I sacrificed so that they wouldn't have to struggle, or I sacrificed so that I could be there and keep my word that I said if I had kids, I would be there. And that's what I did. I held on to my word that I told myself before I had kids that I would be there, do things, and I kept my word.
Mm. Thank you for keeping your word because us being here today, I know Rob is not here right now. Stay tuned, Rob will be on the show. But I know we're both extremely grateful for the example that you've set for us time after time. And my mom too. Like, you know, she don't drink, she don't smoke cigarettes or anything like that. And so to see that, like, she never really just had like a lot of men coming, in and out of the house. And if she did, would challenge them though. Like my brother and I would challenge these dudes. They better had not gotten out of line. I tell you that much. Because there was some times, there was some times. But I just want to tell you that, I'm extremely proud of you and thankful for not giving up, right? Because the result of kind of seeing us as adults now, seven grandchildren, right? Four boys, three girls. Um, that's pretty awesome. That's pretty exciting. Excited, and you're in their life, you know. So that's very very excited. And so going back though to Mama's house. So for those listening, for those watching, Mama is my grandmother. Okay, so I'm gonna be saying Mama from now on. Going back to Mama's house. During that time, like I said, we were all living there. What were you experiencing for us to be living there temporarily? Like, why did we have to go and live with Mama?
I was going through a divorce. I was trying to, I told myself I'm going to save money so that I could keep a roof over my kids' head. There was verbal abuse. There were times that I was in a situation and I had to move on, continue on. So I end up things happened and I think I end up having to take the bus with my kids at 5 something in the morning across town, drop them off at the daycare, got back on the bus, came back across town and went to work.
Hmm. And that's deep. Like really, just kind of saying that. Because the effort, I feel like that goes along with the belief that you had with yourself and the promises that you've made of just really not giving up on your kids, doing whatever it takes, to make it work, doing whatever it takes to get your own place, to put a roof over, your kid's head, food on the table. So that shows a lot to be able to get up 5 a.m., get on a bus, take us to where we need to go. You handle your
With two
job
kids in
with two.
one hand,
Wow,
one in one.
one and one. So that's very powerful. And then I know you mentioned divorce, um, verbal abuse, things like that. Um, and so, kind of talking about that just a little bit, is that kind of what happened, like with my dad and you and yourself?
Yes, we were going through a divorce and we argued every day from 5 p.m. to 1 a.m. So I just didn't allow him to hold me down, keep me down. I had to move on.
Mm,
I had to overcome to move on. It was hard because I didn't share it with anyone. And my advice to ladies that's going through, talk to somebody, get help. There's so much help out there.
mm,
You can survive, you can do it.
man, you know what? You said something that kind of like convicted me a little bit too as well. So like, obviously, he's my father. Um, and you hear the saying like father like son. So I've been married for 10 years, um, and not realizing that I've been controlling, as well. Not realizing that when I'm angry with my wife, I can be upset. I can do say verbal abuse. Do the same thing as well. So it's crazy hearing that, from my dad. And there was a story. Um, I don't know if you shared it with me or my dad shared it, but it's crazy to me hearing this story because I literally did the same thing, but we had different reasonings, right? So like there was a story about my dad apparently showing up to my mother's job when she got off, and so she's walking out with her coworkers. One of her coworkers, happened to be a male. So apparently he jumps out. My dad, he jumps out the car, and and he's telling my mom, "Hey, go back to the car now. Get in the car." But apparently he stayed to kind of talk to the male coworker, and he had a weapon. So when I heard that, I was like, "Dang, that's crazy," because I had a similar situation, but like I say, the reasoning was a little different. So for me, for example, I called Angel when she was at work, and she was getting ready to get off, and so one of her coworkers, who's a guy, was in the background, was like, "Hey baby, hey baby, who are you talking to? Who are you talking to, baby?" All of these things. And I told the guy nicely. I said, "Hey bro," I said, "I don't play like that. Like, you know, cool it off, in the background." And he was like, "All right, whatever, whatever. Hey babe, who you talking to?" And I was like, "Hey Angel, tell him that I'm not playing. You know, I'm not playing that way, and I'm really trying to just talk to you." And so the dude keeps going at it. Like he keeps saying all of this stuff. And I'm like, bro. I said, all right, partner, I got something for you. So when Angel got off work, like I waited till they walked down a little bit from their job. They had to walk through this little pathway to get to the parking lot. And it's crazy because I said the same thing to Angel. I said, Angel, go to the car real quick. And so I go to the dude, you know, and I pull out my gun on him. I said, hey, bro, like you still playing? What's up? You know, and it's just crazy hearing that story because of what anger does or what jealousy does to us or what being controlling does to us. Um, you know, but that's very powerful. So thank you for sharing that as well. Um, you know, just for the record too, like my dad and I, you know, we do have a great relationship now. He's a awesome, uh, you know, grandfather. You know, he loves his grandkids. You know, and we do have a bond, and we're very much alike. And then I can definitely say too, I'm absolutely proud of him now as well. Just the change, and that's where I'm at right now. Right, I'm in a position to, um, like, I'm really studying myself, figuring out what makes me angry, what makes me happy. You know, because and that's the purpose of this podcast too, right? Because I want to interview the people that's close to me in my life, but then hopefully our experiences, you know, could help someone else, inspire or impact others, just so that they can know that they're not alone, but we're also eagerly, you know, willing to change every single day. Um, so that's a very powerful story, and thank you for sharing that.
And
Um,
I'm also proud of you for making the change and acknowledging that you had to do something to change yourself, to not take it further.
mm,
I'm proud of you. Good job.
thank you. And so my last question that I have for you is right now, if you were to see your little self, see your younger self, what would you tell your younger self right now?
I would say, self, I see you in the future. You look good. You will survive. You are doing the darn thing. Fast forward, I've received many compliments on how I raised my sons and being a single parent.
Mm, powerful, powerful. I tell you what, I'm proud of you. Definitely being a great example. I appreciate you. You know, and for those listening, watching, just know that you're not alone. Just know that, you know, if we can just keep pushing forward, like if we understand who we want to be and the life that we want to live, we'll need to just put in the work, put in the effort. Like, I don't care if you got to get on the bus. I don't care if you need to get a job, two jobs, temporarily, just to make something else better for your children, for your spouse, whatever it may be. Do it. Get out there and make it happen. Okay? Because I tell people this all the time, that do the things that you don't want to do, right, as quickly as you can. I'm talking about if you don't want two jobs, if you don't want to work three jobs, if you don't want a side gig, but you know that it will benefit you, do the things that you don't want to do as quickly as you can so that you can live the life that you want for as long as you can. Okay? That's very powerful. Last thing, we're going to leave you guys with this. Mom, for those listening, for those watching, what are some words of encouragement that you can give to the people that's watching or listening?
Without challenge, there's no change.
Mm. Without challenge, there is no change.
You have to challenge yourself to want to do better.
Ooh. Yeah. Salute to that. Challenge yourself, people. Okay? Challenge yourself. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you guys once again. I'm on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts. For the visuals, I'm on YouTube. Please like, comment, and subscribe. But also share. Share this with everyone. Share, share, share. Let's get this out there. Thank you guys so much. And we are out.